Perhaps I can start since we're having technical
Bueno,
problems. I would just
comenzar.
first
Tenemos
of all like
problemas
to
técnicos. Primero que
recognize
todo, quiero
that we have had
reconocer
some
que
small technical
tenemos
problems.
algunos
But for me,
problemas
they're
técnicos,
tiny
pero para
compared to the
mí
magnitude
son
of what is
pequeños comparados
happening
con la
here.
magnitud del
And I would
evento que
really like
tenemos. Así que
to
de verdad,
appreciate all of
quisiera
you for your
apreciar,
patience in
agradecerles a
dealing with
todos
these little
ustedes por su
problems and just to
paciencia con
note
estos
how
temas
powerful it is to
técnicos.
finally
Sabemos
be
qué
back
tan
together as a
complicado
community
es
and growing
volver
together.
en sitio
And it's
como
that spirit
comunidad
of
y en ese
celebration
espíritu de
which we
celebración
bring to this award.
tenemos
It's
esta
that spirit of
ceremonia
community. It's
de
that
premiación.
recognition
Es un
that we offer each
reconocimiento que
other
nos
when
ofrecemos
we
los unos
honor
a los
someone
otros
for
cuando
the
honramos
incredible
a
work they
alguien por
do.
el trabajo tan
And in
maravilloso que
honoring
hacen,
one or in honoring two,
y al honrar
we
a
honor
uno
your whole field.
o a
And we
dos,
honor the
honramos a
achievements of
todo
the
el
sector.
sector, a
So for
todos
me,
los
it's a
logros del sector. Así que
particular
para mí
delight to be
es
part
un
of
enorme
this,
placer ser
because I
parte de
believe
esta
honoring
ceremonia
is a
porque
way to
creo
grow
que
and to build.
son
And
una
we've heard some
inspiración
big
para
challenges.
crecer a la
And
luz
some of
de
the people you'll hear about
desafíos.
today
Algunas
have
de
been
las
part
personas
of
de las
really
que
big
ustedes escucharán
solutions
hoy
and
son
will be part of the
parte de
solutions to
grandes
come.
soluciones y de
So
soluciones
perhaps I
futuras.
can
Así
call
que
on our honored
quisiera
chair,
llamar a
Antonio,
nuestro
to start us
presidente
off.
Antonio para comenzar esto, por favor.
Bom dia a todas e a
Buenos
todos.
días a todas y a
Eu vou
todos.
falar em português.
Voy a hablarles en portugués.
Este é um momento muito importante do
Este es un
nosso
momento
Congresso
muy importante en nuestro
Interamericano.
Congreso Interamericano,
Nós sabemos que o direito ambiental
pero sabemos que el derecho ambiental
não nasce do nada.
no nace de la nada.
Como tudo no direito, é uma criação
Como todo en el derecho, es una creación
dos seres humanos.
que realizan los seres humanos.
E os seres humanos
Los seres humanos
desempenham papel central
desempeñamos un papel central
nos desenvolvimentos bons,
en los desarrollos
positivos,
buenos, positivos,
ruins
malos y negativos
do direito.
del derecho.
E nessa sessão,
En esta sesión
nós estamos
estamos nosotros aquí por primera vez
na Comissão Mundial
en la
de
Comisión
Direito
Mundial de
Ambiental,
Derecho
na World
Ambiental,
Commission
en la
on
World
Environmental Law,
Commission on Environmental Law,
outorgando
y estamos
um novo
otorgando
prêmio
un nuevo premio
de reconhecimento
de reconocimiento
àqueles que
a
nas
aquellos
suas macro-regiões,
que en sus macroregiones,
no nosso caso,
en nuestro
as
caso,
três Américas,
las 3 Américas,
cumpriram e cumprem e vão
cumplieron,
continuar
cumplen
cumprindo
y seguirán cumpliendo.
a missão extraordinária
La misión
de
extraordinaria
desenvolver
de
o direito
desarrollar
ambiental
el derecho ambiental
e de abrir novas portas,
y abrir nuevas puertas,
de formar novos adeptos
de formar nuevos
da nossa
adeptos
disciplina
de nuestra
jurídica.
disciplina jurídica.
Na comissão,
En la comisión,
depois de várias semanas
después de varias semanas
de discussão,
de haber conversado,
nós chegamos à conclusão
llegamos a la conclusión
que deveríamos chamar
que
este
deberíamos
novo prêmio
llamar este nuevo premio
de WCEL
WCL
Nicholas Robinson
Nicholas Robinson
Environmental Law Award.
Environmental Law Award.
E eu queria agradecer ao Steering Committee por
Quiero
ter
decirle al
aceitado a
comité
minha
ejecutivo
sugestão,
por haber aceptado mi sugerencia,
já que o professor Nicholas Robinson
ya que el profesor
representa
Nicholas
tudo isso
Robinson representa
que
todo
nós
eso.
esperamos de um bom
Y esperamos
jurista
que, bueno, esperamos ser un buen jurista
e de um grande ser humano.
Y un gran ser humano.
Nós todos, no mundo inteiro,
Todos nosotros en todo el mundo,
norte, sul,
desde el norte al sur,
fomos
hemos
de uma forma ou de outra
sido de
tocada.
alguna manera u otra,
ou tocados pelo entusiasmo,
fuimos tocados por
pela inteligência,
el entusiasmo y la
pela
inteligencia
energia
y por
incansável
la
e
incansable
pelas lições do
energía
professor
y
Nicholas Robinson.
las lecciones que recibimos del profesor Nicholas
Com este
Robinson.
prêmio, com este award,
Con este
nós
reconocimiento,
queremos não
con
só
este premio,
homenageá-lo,
no solo queremos rendirle
queremos
un
también
homenaje, sino también
que ele continue a servir de exemplo para as novas gerações.
ponerlo para que siga siendo un ejemplo para las nuevas
Modelo.
generaciones.
De como deve ser
El modelo de cómo debe ser
jurista que se preocupa
un
com as
jurista
pessoas, mas também
preocupado no solo con
com
las
as fontes
personas,
da
pero
vida do
también
nosso
con
planeta.
las fuentes de la vida misma de nuestro planeta.
Estamos todos aqui juntos para agradecer
Nos hemos reunido
al
aquí todos
profesor
para expresar nuestro
Nicholas
agradecimiento al
Robinson.
profesor Nicolás Robinson.
E escolhemos
Y
coletivamente
hemos
dois
conjuntamente
juristas
escogido a dos
da
juristas
nossa região,
de nuestra región,
anglo-saxônico,
la región interamericana,
otro
uno
latinoamericano,
anglosajón y otro
que
latinoamericano,
cada ao seu
cada
modo,
uno de ellos
tiveram
a su
papel
manera
relevantíssimo
han tenido
de
un
construção não apenas da
relevantísimo
base
papel, no solo
teórica,
de la base teórica,
mas também da
sino
efetividade
también
do
de
direito
la
ambiental nas três
efectividad
Américas.
del derecho ambiental
Escolhemos
en
então,
todas las Américas, en las tres
unanimemente,
Américas. Unánimemente
o
hemos escogido
professor David
entonces
Hunter,
al
que
profesor
será
David
em seguida
Hunter,
apresentado pela professora
será
Denise
presentado por
Antolini,
la profesora Denise
que do
Antolini,
Havaí traz a voz do paraíso.
que desde el
Juntamente
paraíso de
com meu
Hawái
colega
va a
Michael
venir
Wilson.
aquí junto con mi colega Michael Wilson, el ministro Michael Wilson,
Em
que me
si,
acompaña.
David Hunter ser apresentado pela voz do paraíso,
David Hunter, el profesor
en
David
sí
Hunter será presentado por
uma
esta
outra homenagem.
colega profesora Denise
E também
Antolina.
pelo meu
Y
colega,
luego otro
presidente de
homenajeado,
comissão da WCN,
el
Sean
presidente
Southey.
presentado por Sean
Outro
Southey, el presidente
eu
de
vou
la
apresentar,
comisión de la UCN.
porque ele não está em condições de participar deste evento,
El otro
mas nos assiste.
nos está
O
acompañando,
professor
y pero no pudo
desembargador
venir.
Justice Eladio Lessay,
Eladio Lessay,
da Suprema Corte
el juez de segunda instancia
do
de
Estado do
la
Rio
Suprema
Grande do Sul,
Corte del Estado
do
de
Brasil.
Brasil, Estado de Río Grande
De
do
todos
Sul.
nós, magistrados latino-americanos,
Todos nosotros jueces y magistrados
Él fue
de Latinoamérica
e é
reconocemos que él ha
o mais
sido y es
entusiasmado e o mais dedicado
el
à
más
formação dos
dedicado y
juízes
entusiasta
em direito ambiental.
mentor de la formación
Inspiró
de jueces en el derecho ambiental.
Várias gerações
Ha inspirado a
de juízes
varias
no Brasil
generaciones de jueces,
e na América Latina,
no solo en
do
Brasil,
México,
sino también en América Latina
do Rio
toda,
Grande
en
à
México,
Patagônia.
desde
varios que están
el
aquí
Río Grande hasta la
tiveram
Patagonia. Varios de
o
los
privilégio
reunidos
de
aquí
conhecê-lo
han tenido
pessoalmente.
el privilegio de conocerle
Mas o que mais
personalmente.
impressiona
Pero lo que más nos impresiona
no Justice Eladio Lessay, no desembargador Eladio Lessay,
juez
é que ele
Eladio
não vê
Lessay
distinção
es que
entre o
él
direito ambiental
no
e
ve
sua vida
ninguna
pessoal. A sua vida
distinción
pessoal é
entre
o direito
su
ambiental.
vida personal y el derecho ambiental. Su vida personal es
E para mim,
el derecho ambiental.
esta é a demonstração
Y
mais
esta es
sólida, mais
la
forte
prueba más sólida, más fuerte
de amor mesmo
de
que um
el
jurista e um
mismo
juiz
amor que un juez, que un
pode
jurista
ter
puede tener
pela questão ambiental.
por el
Ele é adorado
asunto,
pelos
por
seus
el tema
ex-alunos.
ambiental. Él es adorado por
centenas
sus
de
cientos
juízes
de
federais e
exalumnos,
estaduais no Brasil
jueces federales, jueces
e em
estatales
outros
en
países da
Brasil y en
América
otros países
Latina.
de América Latina.
Mantém contato pessoal com
Y
todos eles
él sigue en contacto personal con todos
e
ellos,
vê em cada uma
con
dessas
todas ellas,
juízas e desses
y
juízes
cada uno de esos
componente
jueces, de esas juezas,
da sua própria existência
son parte
e uma
de su
peça
vida
a mais
misma. Y
deste mosaico complexo,
también
mas extremamente belo
una
de
parte más
juízes
de este
que cumprem a
complejísimo y
Constituição e
bellísimo
as leis
mosaico que es
na defesa do
el,
meio ambiente.
el rompecabezas
Yo
de
mismo
jueces que
entregaré
defienden el
O prêmio
medio ambiente. Yo personalmente
que é
entregaré
uma
este
medalha,
reconocimiento, la medalla,
o melhor dizendo, uma placa
o
ao desembargador
más bien
Eladio
una
Lessay.
placa al
Com isso, eu
juez
peço
Eladio
para
Lessay.
ele
Y
uma
pido
salva de
también
palmas
para él
em reconhecimento ao
un
seu
reconocimiento
trabalho
de
do passado, do
aplausos
presente e do futuro.
por el trabajo que ha hecho en el pasado, en el presente y que continuará haciendo en el futuro.
E com isso, eu
Con esto,
devolvo a palavra.
le devuelvo
Imagino que
la palabra
a
ahora.
professora Denise
Me imagino
Antolini
que la
ou
profesora
ao presidente
Denise
Sean
Antolini
Southey.
o a el presidente de la comisión de la UCN,
Yo no
Sean
sé cuál
Southey.
dos
No
dos
sé cuál de los dos
hablará
intervendrá primero.
Profesora Denise.
Profesora Denise.
Good morning, good evening, aloha from Hawaii in the middle of the Pacific. It's so nice to see my dear friends and colleagues from around the world. As many others have said, we wish we could be there in person, but it's delightful to see you in such an amazing setting and to have us globally connected. It is my distinct pleasure today to honor a beloved colleague in the American Environmental Law Academy, Professor David Bristol Hunter. He may physically be located in Washington, D.C., far away from my law school home here in Hawaii, across a continent, an ocean and a continent. But his seminal books, you may not know this, sit on my bookshelf and have long been an inspiration for me and our colleagues across the country. But more importantly, his humanity, his spark, and his spirit have long been in our hearts at the World Commission on Environmental Law. I'm going to try not to cry, David. This is so wonderful to have the opportunity to honor you, especially because you are the first awardee of the WCEL Nicholas Robinson Environmental Law Award. What an honor. And how meaningful is it today to honor you when we're at the cusp of this critical decade in environmental law, as you have so eloquently described. I want to thank your colleague and my colleague and dear friend, Claudia DeVint, who graciously helped spice up this honor and introduction for you a little bit. And she started with this. To discuss and plan for the future, one must understand the past and live in the present. Today is the tomorrow we worried about yesterday. And she said, if there's one person in the field of international environmental law that embodies this thinking, being able to see the past and plan ahead creatively for new generations, it's you, David. So let me start. So everybody who's involved in this conference has the official profile of David. This will be a little bit painful, I'm sure, for David. He's probably heard it a million times. But then I'll say a few things that are more personal. So David Hunter is a professor of international and comparative environmental law at American University's Washington College of Law. He received his JD from Harvard Law School. Actually, the same year I graduated from law school, David, and received his bachelor's from the University of Michigan. He serves on the boards of the Directors of Accountability Council, the Environmental Law Alliance, our dear friends at eLaw, and the Project on Government Oversight. He's a member scholar of the Center for Progressive Reform and a member of the Organization of American States Expert Group on Environmental Law, the Inter-American Network for Environmental Law's Advisory Board, and the Strategic Advisors Group for the International Finance Corporation's Compliance Advisor Ombudsman. Many of us also really know David for his incredible work in publications, particularly his co-authored book, International Environmental Law and Policy, in the 5th or subsequent editions, I don't know, but it's really the classic in the field, and his climate change law book, which is obviously been very influential. His research also focuses, as you know well, on human rights in the environment, environmental standards and accountability, mechanisms in environmental finance, and climate change litigation law and policy. So that's the official bio, and it just skims at the surface of David's amazing career. In terms of the World Commission on Environmental Law, I had to look up when you started serving on the steering committee. It was 2008. So I'm sure you have many memories of serving on the World Commission on Environmental Law steering committee with great dedication. And according to Claudia, an unorthodox manner that characterized your outstanding capability to make a point when and where it was most needed. You have served in many honorary appointments and boards that have distinguished your career. And it's all the greater today because of your legacy in teaching and your collegiality with friends around the world. Claudia also mentioned there happens to be a rain boot named after you, or you share the name of a rain boot, the Hunter boot. And she said it was very fitting because you would never think twice about stepping into the swamp or the mangrove or the marsh or any other habitat that needs understanding from law and policy, even if it's a room full of diplomats or politicians. So your work, David, in human rights and the environment, environmental standards, accountability, climate change, and all of those areas have been such a driving influence in the field for all of us, especially in the regions of the Americas that is hosting this conference today. You've contributed so much to the education of so many practicing lawyers. I don't know what the number is. It must be thousands of students who have gone through your courses and have been influenced and mentored by you, and that is a lasting legacy. So we want to take this brief opportunity to honor you and thank you, Professor Hunter, for bringing together environmental law and lawyers from around the globe through your own personal contributions and through your network. You have made an incredible difference to all of us. You may not know it, how treasured you are by many who are invisible to you, but may that warm your heart. Your legacy and your work inspires so many present and future generations. Your legacy will be long lasting. And particularly now, as we face these incredible challenges, your work is even more needed. So I want to quote something you said a few minutes ago in your presentation. And you were talking about Jimmy May and his ability to give voice to rights. And you said, say it over and over again, all persons have a right to a clean and healthy environment. So I will end by saying, say it over and over again. David Hunter is an outstanding global champion for environmental law. And we are deeply honored to honor you today. And we wish you the very best. With aloha from Hawaii and all of us at the World Commission, congratulations, David.
Thank you.
In addition to
Bien, además
what
de
Professor Denise
las palabras de la profesora Denise Antolini, lo que nos comentó, yo quiero decir que nosotros tenemos también una placa para ti y te la entregaremos en Washington, D.C. Hay alguien que no pudo estar con nosotros el día de hoy, que hubiera sido parte de esta ceremonia, un colega de la Universidad Americana, de la Escuela de Derecho, Claudia de Wint. A nombre de Claudia también, vamos a enviarte esta placa. Así que muchísimas gracias. Gracias a ti y gracias a la profesora Denise Antolini, que nos dio unas palabras. Y también a tus antiguos alumnos. Muchísimas gracias.
May I say?
Yes, now you have the floor.
Muy bien, tienes la palabra. Claro que sí.
I'll try to be brief, in part because, as some of you know, I have Parkinson's, and one of there's a couple of advantages to it. One of them is that I have to take shortcuts in reading emails and things like that. And I didn't actually notice that I was getting this award by looking at the full thing until 2 days ago. So you'll be glad to know that I haven't prepared any remarks. But I am nonetheless so grateful and honored to for so many reasons. First, because of Professor Antolini's, Denise's, your lovely and warm introduction. Thank you so much for that. Antonio Benjamin, Minister Benjamin, for your friendship and your guidance and for teaching me the value of gratitude, which I can now display that I'm very grateful for this, for the work of the commission, more so than for the honor, but I accept the honor, but more important is the work that we all do. I want to thank the Justice Ortiz-Mena for hosting us at the Supreme Court. I have to give a shout out to the work of one of my first former students, Gustavo Alanis Ortega, who we all know very well and for whom does God's work in Mexico leading SEMDA, Centro Mexicano de Derecho Ambiental. I also have to say very quickly that I have to mention that I also serve on the board of the Center for International Environmental Law, which I just joined recently, and they get upset if I don't mention my long-term connection with CL, which of course has been very important for my own career as well as for the promotion of citizen rights and international environmental legal processes. And I didn't know until just now that I'd be receiving the Nicholas Robinson Award. And I want to say what an honor it is to be the first person to receive that award. As we all know, Professor Robinson was the leader and the first. We always talk about standing on the shoulders of giants. Well, we stand on the shoulders of Nick Robinson, and we'll be eternally grateful for being honored with an award in his name for all that he's done for the world and for me personally, and being a guiding star in how to work internationally and how to work and promote environmental law. We have a lot of work to do together. I've been very fortunate to be able to work in a way that's, I hope has been effective, but most importantly for me personally, has put me in touch with so many wonderful, inspirational, and effective people. Shout out to Claudia DeWint for her work in supporting this nominee. I see her fingerprints all over it. And all I can say is thank you all very much for the work that we do in this region and the world. And not only do I think this next year will be a critical decade for environmental law, I think it will be a successful decade. I have optimism. I see incredible movement. And I think we can solve these problems that we face. Thank you again for honoring me. I'm humbled and very grateful for this recognition. I'm sorry I can't be there in Mexico City, but I'll see you all at the next Congress. Thank you.
Cerramos esta
Let us note that
sesión.
we're really honoring three people.
Queremos
We're
decir
honoring
que estamos
Professor,
honrando al profesor
Hunter,
también, al profesor
Justice Lisi,
Hunter,
and of course, Professor
ministro
Nick Robinson.
Lisi y al profesor
It's a
Nick
really special
Robinson.
moment. So
Y
I'd
es un
invite
momento
us
muy
all to
especial,
stand
así que los invito a
and give
todos a que se
them
pongan de
the
pie, por
respect
favor,
they
y que le den un aplauso a las personas que recibieron el premio.
Muchas gracias, profesora Denise Antolini. Muchas gracias, Sean, ministro Antonio Benjamin, por conducir esta importante y emotiva ceremonia de premiación. Es un orgullo para todos nosotros estar presentes y homenajear al profesor Hunter, al profesor Robinson, al fiscal de Brasil. Muchas gracias. Con esto terminamos esta parte de la agenda de hoy. Vamos a tomar una pausa breve y regresamos a las 11:30 hora de la Ciudad de México para las personas que nos siguen virtualmente también. Muchas gracias.